So today I have another wild story from attending Mama Gena School of Womenly Arts 2-day experience in New York recently. This is how I ended up on stage in front of 850 women losing my shit, if you will. And what this has to do with you as a pleasure CEO is that I learned so much from the experience to see what gets in my way in business when I get into stuck and overwhelm. And it's something that I'm super passionate about helping other women move through. So I wanted to share all of that with you. You ready? My name is Christina Marassi, Pleasure CEO mentor. And so picture this. 2-day experience in a theater in New York City, 850 women, and it was incredible. Mama Gena is all about really unleashing pleasure and desire in women, so I was in heaven, and I'm a sensitive soul. So in the afternoon of the first day, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Nothing was bad, it was just a lot going on inside my body. So I didn't want to check out, I wanted to stay present. So the best I could do was I closed my eyes. I felt like I couldn't take in more information through my eyes, but I was listening intently. Eyes were closed, I had one hand open, and I was present. So Mama Gena's on stage being all kinds of theatrical, and then all of a sudden, there's silence. And my friend I was with smacks me in the arm. I open my eyes and there's Mama Gena right in front of me, down on her belly, on the stage, holding a mic, looking into my eyes going, "What's going on in there?" And I was just like, oh boy. So I ended up sharing with her that there was a lot of emotion that was getting touched, and we had just done an exercise and she had seen me with my partner and we were both in tears. And so she was asking what was going on, and I said, well, whenever we do these deep explorations, inevitably it touches my deep wound, which was losing my brother to cancer when I was 13 and he was 11. Now, mind you, I have done so much healing work on this for the last 18 years, and it's still with me to this day. So she was like, okay, well, why don't you come up on stage? So I ended up becoming the demo for something she teaches called swamping. So Mama Gena is a big fan of allowing women to just go into the muck of like the deep feelings that we have, that like rage and grief and sadness and fear, and to go into it and embody it. So I get brought up on stage, I'm sharing more about my brother, and then I'm encouraged to embody it in front of everyone. So there's a pink carpet runway, there's a woman there trying to pull it out of me. They put on some like heavy duty, let's say heavy metal, like 9 Inch Nails type music to sort of set the stage. And then I'm encouraged to walk this runway and just go for it. So I ended up like on my knees and crawling like an animal and roaring and wailing and sobbing and crying and like hitting the ground and just like embodying and going deep into the swamp of that intense grief and pain that I carry. I still have rug burns to this day from the experience. It was intense. Oh my God. And it was also incredible because I saw that as much as I work on my own grief, I saw how much of it I still carry, and I saw how much of it gets in the way of everything I want, and how that contributes to my overwhelm and my feeling stuck sometimes in my business. And really, I wanted to share this story with you because it was so wild. Of course, I don't even know how I ended up in that experience. The second part of the story is once you access all of that grief and those deep emotions, then you find ways to dance it through your body with turn on, and you're able to transmute all of the swamping. So then I had to turn on the whole audience, which was just a trip. The whole thing was a massive trip. And the reason I wanted to share that with you is because I know as women, we all carry something. Your story is going to be different than mine, and yet you still have a pain that you carry, whether it's a grief, whether it's a rage, whether it's fear. I mean, my God, how much fear do we deal with as women entrepreneurs every day when we get up and have to like share our message and talk to clients and make sales and create content? It's nuts. So we always come up against our stuff. Now, you could think that that's a bad thing, or you could have a total rearrangement with how you look at these moments of overwhelm and feeling stuck or feeling pain. And what I'd like to invite you is to see them as moments of the down, if you will. Now, this is a phrase I learned from One Taste, who shares orgasmic meditation with the world. And I really like that because they see those moments when we're just kind of in a slump and not really in the mood and feeling a little low. They call it the down. And they also think that this is deeply connected to the archetypal feminine. And they also think that you go into the down in order to pick up power. And when you go down into the swamp, as Mama Gena calls it, and you touch that pain, there is a power there. I want you to think about that. Pain has a lot of life force to it. Now, it's not obviously pleasurable life force per se, but pain has a lot of juice and a lot of charge and a lot of life force to it, which, guess what? It's a form of turn on. It's a form of electricity. It's just sort of on the other side of the coin, right? So ideally, in those moments when you're being taken into the down, you go in and you embrace it. You be in approval of it. You allow yourself to have a full range of emotions, one of them being pain and down. And you go in to touch the white hot heat of the intensity of whatever your pain is. And then ideally you harvest the power that's there. I've been calling it going for the penny at the bottom of the pool, right? It's a treasure in there of some sort. And when you harvest that, then you breathe it through your body and then you find a way to transmute it to turn on. And this is how a pleasure CEO navigates those moments of feeling stuck and overwhelmed. So I wanted to share that with you today because I am deeply passionate about women realizing that there is a power to the dark feminine. Now that's a longer conversation we'll probably talk about in a different video, but there's a place of realizing we don't have to just be smiling and thinking positive thoughts all the time. Mama Gena calls it, that we've got this whole piano keyboard in front of us of a range of emotions, and really we're all sitting there playing chopsticks. And we're missing out on this broad brushstroke of being woman. We are meant to be emotional creatures. So I want to give you permission today. The next time when you feel a little bit down, I want to give you permission to go there. Don't sort of turn away from it. Don't resist it. Don't shun it. Don't ignore it. Instead, be like, what's going on here? Where am I being brought to? What treasure is hidden here? Now, you don't want to stay there for forever, of course. We're not talking about being indulgent and a wallowing of sorts. So what you can do, pleasure CEOs are smart, right? So they're strategic and feminine. So what I'm gonna invite you to do is to set a timer. 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 60 minutes. Feel what feels right for you. Set a timer, shut down all the computers, all the phones, and go into the dark. You might shut the curtains, you might go into a bit of a cave, you might put on some sad music, you might sort of just have tissues with you and just go right into the pain and go there. Feel it. Move it through your body, breathe the emotion through, let the tears come out, let the rage hit the pillows, do whatever you need to do to move it, because this is the stuff that stops you. This is what gets in the way of moving forward in your business and in anything you want in life. So find a way to be kind of a badass with this stuff. Society teaches us to ignore it all. Pleasure CEOs know that there's a power there and that you can access it and utilize it in your business. Doesn't that sound way more interesting? All right, so thank you for going on this journey with me today. I know it's a little bit different. So let's start a conversation here. Can you see the benefits of going into the down? Could you see the benefits of how this might support you in business? I really feel like these are great conversations to have, and I loved all the comments on the last video that I did. It's like, let's create a sisterhood here, a collective, because I don't have all the wisdom, but together we have all the wisdom. So share what wisdom you've got around this topic. Let's learn from each other, and let's keep stepping into being pleasure CEOs across the land. All right, thanks for going on the journey with me. Take care.